Welcome to Counterpunch. Today's topic: is it time for the government to start to regulate on behalf of the people instead of the corporations?
It's past time for the government to regulate on behalf of the people instead of the corporations. Since 1980, Americans have been guinea pigs in an enormous experiment. What would happen if the government let the markets be the only constraint on corporate operations? Over the years, by direct legislation or corporate capture and starvation of regulatory agencies, the markets have taken over protecting consumers, workers, and savers. Don't worry, the market evangelist said. Companies won't cheat customers, endanger employees, or swindle investors, because if they do, those customers, employees, and investors will leave. Markets will reward and punish. No need for pesky bureaucrats. Well, after the savings and loan fiasco of the 80s, oil spills from Exxon Valdez to Deepwater Horizon, coal mine disasters, WorldCom, Enron, the crash of '08, and other debacles, it's clear that regulation by markets has failed miserably. Markets are good at getting stuff for people to buy and sometimes driving prices down, but fairy tale economics will never stop greedheads from seizing the main chance. I'm Sherry Walker for Left in Alabama.
Oh, please. Anybody who thinks that government regulates for or against any one concern is naive. You must keep in mind that government is composed of people, and people in positions of power will act in their own best interest to keep that power. In other words, our elected officials will pass laws that they perceive as helping their own careers and increasing their own powers. Regulators, appointed by those same elected officials, will regulate as their political bosses tell them to, and it's all politically motivated with no relationship to reality. For example, take our most recent financial crisis. The fact is that our government, through regulations, ordered mortgage companies to make high-risk loans to people who couldn't really afford them, all to increase the rate of home ownership. That regulation led directly to our financial crisis, and the agencies most responsible for trading the toxic assets, Fannie and Freddie, aren't even mentioned in the Wall Street Reform Bill. Regulations are more likely to cause problems than to solve them because they're based in political advantage instead of objective reality. Instead of trying to aim regulations in one direction or another, the only way to reduce regulatory harm is to stop trying to regulate so much. For Politics Alabama, I am Matthew Givens. Produced by Politics Alabama, online at politicsalabama.blogspot.com.